of May, I'm going to do another update video on the DVD slash Blu-ray slash VHS that I have collected over the month. So just gonna hop right into it. I got a pretty decent amount of stuff here. Pretty good mix of VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD to show you guys. So just gonna start off real quick with a box set, which was actually gifted to me by my friend JP for my birthday, and that is the House box set by Arrow, and I'm pretty excited to own this. It's the first, I guess you could say, quality thing that I have from my collection. As far as these companies go, I've never had anything from Arrow Video or anything like that. I'm more of a quantity over quality type person right now, just because my collection is so small, but hopefully in the future I'll start collecting more things like this. So I'm really glad to have something like this in my collection, so thank you to him. Then I'm going to go into the Blu-rays, and just got this the other day and just watched it yesterday, and that is American Psycho. I had never seen this before, and I was always interested in checking it out, and at first I felt like I wasn't really going to like it, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by the last hour of it. I thought it was actually had some creepy moments to it, and it was just a bizarre movie. The guy is so just weird in this movie, and yeah, I did end up liking it. It did not disappoint me. Then moving on, I've already talked about some of these movies because I do the What I Watched videos, but we have the Innkeepers, in case you haven't seen my What I Watched video. Yeah, I did like this movie. It was kind of slow and just felt a little too long, but it had good atmosphere to it, and it had a few creepy scenes, so it was not too bad or anything like that. I just felt like it was a little too slow for my taste. Then moving along, we have Excision. Once again, I already talked about this one. Probably one of the best movies I've watched in a long time. Very memorable. Thought about it for a couple of days after watching it. It's basically the ending that's really just shocking for me personally. And yeah, this is a great movie. I highly recommend you check it out if you have not. Then we have Crystal Lake Memories, the entire documentary of all the Friday the 13th movies. This is pretty awesome. I just got this the other day as well, and I actually have it paused on my TV right now. I'm not too far into it because they go really in depth with every single movie, so I'm actually only on part 3 right now, and it's pretty cool. They get a lot of actors to come back, and I had wanted to check this out for a long time, so I'm glad I finally have the chance to watch it. And yeah, I'll have to finish it and then give my thoughts on it later on. Then I haven't opened this yet, but I got Dole. I saw this at Walmart on DVD a couple weeks ago and passed on it at the time just because I didn't have much money on me, and it's more of a thriller. And I'm one of those weird people who, when something's not classified as horror, doesn't have the word horror in the genre description, I'm oh, well, that can't go in my collection. But I'm gonna start probably changing my ways and adopting more of these thriller movies. I don't like some thrillers just don't feel. They all feel the same kind of sometimes, but movies like this is road horror to me, so I can count this as a horror. And I do love this movie. I saw it years ago, so I'm glad to finally own it. And then next up we have The Woman. Like I said before, I did like this movie. It just wasn't, there were just some bits to it that, I don't know, for some reason I did not love it, but I did like it a lot. I think it's just, I don't know, I think Angela Bettis, I really like her, and it wasn't her best role or anything like that, and it's not as good as May or anything, but it is a good movie and I would recommend it. And that's it for the Blu-rays. Now I'm going to move along to VHS real quick, and first up, I got this yesterday, and that is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro. Never seen this before, but I am interested in it because I do like Robert De Niro, and Frankenstein. It's a pretty cool story, so yeah, I'm excited to watch this. And then we have a movie where I've never seen the first one, but I saw the sequel at Goodwill and couldn't pass it up just because it seemed like something you wouldn't really see at Goodwill that often, and that is Tremors 2. I know I do have to watch all the other ones because I've heard great things about this franchise. A lot of people seem to like it and seem to think that all the movies are pretty great in it, so I will have to get my hands on the first one. I don't like watching things out of order, but I might check this one out before the first one. Just depends. Then next up, this is pretty cool to find. I found this at a Goodwill. I went to a drive-in this past weekend, and we stopped at a Goodwill, and I found this there. They had a lot of VHS there, and that is Handyman Part 2. I've only seen Part 1, so I don't know much about this. I know a lot of people don't like these sequels at all, but I just thought it was kind of exciting to find it on VHS, and it's still got like one of those protective like plastic cases over it to keep the outside safe and not damaged. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's something you would find at like Hollywood Video or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Then moving along to another movie I don't know much about. I don't know anything about, actually. Never even heard of this, but that is Warlock, the Armageddon. I think this is a sequel, and once again, it's a sequel to a movie that I didn't see the first one to. It might even be a part 3, I'm not sure. But yeah, I really don't know what to say about this one. Don't know much about it, but JP told me I should grab it just because it's something else you wouldn't usually find in a Goodwill. Then we have Ghost Ship. Grabbed this a couple weeks ago at the Goodwill near me because it was in good condition. I had never seen it before either, and I watched it, and it's one of those movies with a really good beginning, but the rest of it kind of sucks. So yeah, I do not really recommend this if you've not seen it before. Then we have The Haunting from, like, I always forget what year this is from. It's like 2000 or 99 or something weird like that, but I had never seen this before either, and I've never seen the classic original The Haunting, but this was watchable for me, so I give it a pass for that just because it seemed like a movie that I would zone out of, but I did watch it. I know the original was probably a million times better and there's no real comparison, but I still need to check out the original. But yeah, this was watchable. Probably not the best thing ever though. Then we have Jeepers Creepers 2. Again, one that I picked up because it was in great condition, and picked these past 3 that I've talked about up the same day actually. Someone must have really taken care of their VHS collection. But anyway, yeah, I've seen Jeepers Creepers 2 multiple times growing up, and I do like it. Part 1's definitely a lot better, but this one's fun too. So, and I do have Part 1 on VHS as well, so I think it's pretty cool to have both of them on the same format. And now, lastly, we're going on to the DVDs, and first up is Dark Night of the Scarecrow. This is one that I have really wanted to watch for quite some time now. I always found the cover to be interesting. I think the Scarecrow looks great, and I hear it's heard it was a great TV movie, and I did watch it the other day, and I would agree it is a really good TV movie. You know, it doesn't have really any gore or anything. You could tell it's a TV movie, but at the same time, it's a TV movie that was done really well, and it has a good story behind it. So yeah, I really do like this one. Then next up we have the Maniac remake. Talked about this in my last What I Watched video, and I really liked it. In comparison to the original, I think they're pretty much on the same level, in my opinion at least. So yeah, that's a great movie as well. Then we have The Loved Ones. I don't really want to keep talking about these movies because I know I already talked about them in a previous video, but yeah, this is another messed up one with like a crazy girl in it. I love movies like that, so I highly recommend this one as well. Then we have I Spit on Your Grave. I had just seen the remake just this year, watched the remake before the original just because it's easier to find the remake if you're going to stores and it's usually cheaper, but I ordered this online because I was always interested in checking it out, and I was not disappointed. It's a pretty good film, pretty disturbing film, and this is another one where I think like it's kind of on the same level as the remake. I like them both pretty equally. Then here's another one I have not opened yet, and that is The Car. Bought this along with Duel because eventually I'm going to do a double feature night with a couple buddies, and I thought these two would be good movies to put together. They're both like about like vehicles, and on Amazon they actually came up like together. They were like, you want to buy these together? And I was like, sure, that's a good idea. I have seen this one before a long time ago. I don't really remember it. I don't even remember if I liked it or not, but I always like the cover. It's kind of, it reminds me of Christine a lot, so that's pretty cool. And then next up, I got this at a pawn shop, and that is Christina's House. This is a movie from 2001, and I know nothing about this. I've never heard of it. JP said he'd never heard of it either, but I thought the cover was really cool. Like, it's like, I mean, the three faces is kind of lame, but the house, there's like a house in the background and like clouds and things like that. It looks kind of eerie, and I think this is like a slasher movie actually, so I am pretty interested just because I know nothing about this, and I always think that's kind of cool when you just find a movie that you didn't even know existed. So yeah. And then another one is Cold Prey. My buddy told me to pick this one up. Got this at the same pawn shop, and I don't really know much about this movie. I guess it's a slasher as well. It's a slasher in the back. I've heard the title numerous times, and I've heard really good things about it, so I am excited to finally watch it, but I never really looked into it. I never even knew like what the plot was or what kind of movie it was. So then next up, I ordered this one a little bit ago, and that is Dead Girl. I've seen a lot of people have been picking this up, and I've always heard it be talked about, and I've always seen the cover, so I was kind of just interested just based on the popularity of it, and I hear it's kind of a messed up film. Once again, I don't know too much about it per se, but yeah, just based on seeing a lot of people talk about it, I decided I'd give it a shot as well. And then another one I got at that pawn shop was Patrick, my friend. This is another one he told me I should pick up because it's not something you would see everywhere, and it does look interesting. I always am interested in movies where the title is simply a person's name. I think that's always kind of cool. Like, usually those movies are like messed up or interesting or weird, so I'm excited to check this one out as well. And then lastly, guys, I actually coincidentally got The Haunting, the original, on DVD. Got this at the pawn shop too. Yeah, I hear this one's like slow, and I don't really watch a lot of older movies, but I've also heard a lot of good things about this, and I know it's probably got great atmosphere, and I've always been interested in checking this out, so I am happy that I finally just picked it up, and yeah, I am interested in this. I don't think it'll be too slow for me or anything. I do like creepy things. I think it makes it creepier kind of that it's in black and white when you're talking about like a ghost haunting type movie, so yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited with everything I got, and yeah, that's it for this update. I think I got a pretty good amount of stuff. I watched a lot of this stuff already, but I do have some things that I still need to watch, so I'll be excited to check those out and include them in my next What I Watched video. So yeah, thank you guys once again for watching, and I will see you next time.